Hello all my Kenvians and welcome to a new episode of Discovering Steven Universe. Today, coming fresh off the heels of Reunited, the amazing 22-minute special, today I'm going to be watching Legs from Here to Homeworld. And, I mean, I don't know what I can assume from that episode other than the fact that maybe they're going to be going back to Homeworld in this episode. I mean, it sounds at least a little suggestive, so I don't know. Maybe Greg tries to put on the old universe charm onto the blue and yellow diamonds. I don't know. But regardless, let's get right into it and begin. Legs from Here to Homeworld, and I'll figure out what the heck the title's about. In 3, 2, 1, go.
I can't believe it. You're all alone. Just hand Steven over to Blue. Can you please stop crying? I can't see.
Holy crap!
There. Good as new.
Well,
It's just past these pink pyramids.
those are legs.
We've got a lot
Legs from Here to Homeworld.
really super hot. But if
So wait, blue and yellow are the arms. Pink is the legs, so white diamond forms like the torso and head?
Great. You sure you're happy? If you could water this for me while I'm gone, it'd be a big
Water.
sure thing. They'll miss me too.
We'll be waiting for you when you get back.
Okay. Let's
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Fantastic.
Stop this, Steven. Hold on. We're here.
Awkward family trip.
Pink diamond.
White
Presence is required.
pearl looks broken.
Only pink diamonds. Pink. There you are.
Hi.
Hello, Starlight. You certainly gave everyone a scare. They're all just thrilled to see you safe and sound.
Hi.
Hi.
As for the...
I always thought I might be bad. Now I'm sure that it's true. 'Cause I think you're so good, and I'm nothing like you.
Okay. Huh. Okay, so just to try and keep the things logical, I'm going to try and go through my thoughts as I wrote them down. So, to start with, it's interesting that Blue, her aura is able to affect other gems even when she's not sad. It's pure emotion. So her happy tears were affecting everyone else in a similar way that like her grief, her sadness was affecting them in the battle in the previous episode. Just not quite so disabling, it was just annoying, especially for Amethyst. Now, one thing that has been pointed out by some of the commenters, the patrons anyway, since as of the time I'm recording this, it hasn't, the previous episode hasn't gone public yet, was that it's either an animation error or not that the second time Blue does her blue aura and disables everyone, it actually affects, well, the first time she did it, it didn't affect Connie and Lion, but the second time, when it's, I guess one would call more of a direct attack, it does disable them, both Lion and Connie. So that brings up the question, was it just an animation error, or is it that if Blue is making a more direct attack with her aura, is that able to affect more than just gems? Or again, is it just animation error that occurred? It's hard to say, but again, in this case, it was more of just a general aura based off of Blue's feelings at the time and not like a direct attack, which is why it wasn't affecting Connie in that case. So I found that really interesting. And also, when she's happy, and not just, like happy tears or anything like that, do her emotions sort of have the capability of boosting those around her, or at least boosting her allies? Like, being happy, being motivated, can that increase maybe the strength or the motivation of those around her, similar to how Steven was doing in the psychic dream realm, whatever it was, with the other crystal gems? I'm really interested to know if that might or might not be the case. The next thing that I found really interesting, and other than the fact that the diamonds don't have a concept of what a mom is, and it's still just everything seems to be eluding them, even after it being explained to them, or Steven explaining to them what had happened, they didn't seem to still fully grasp that Steven is not his mom. It is not Rose Quartz or Pink Diamond. That all that is there is the gem itself. And it doesn't seem possible for them fully to comprehend, including White Diamond, which I'll get to, that even though that's her gem, that is not her. So I'm curious whether or not that's going to develop or change over time, because it does seem, at the very least, like Blue and Yellow are capable of learning and understanding new things. Whether or not they will choose to do that's a different story, most likely. But their concept, what I was trying to get to there, is the fact that they thought everything was obliterated, and clearly it's not, versus what actually happened, in that all of those gems, good, evil, well, Homeworld, Crystal Gem side, was corrupted. And I don't know, it seems strange that they wouldn't have at least, like, they made the blast occur, and then they just turned their backs on the planet entirely. Up until, things started ramping up again as Steven was maturing and learning more about his powers and so on. I don't know, it seems strange to me that they would just turn their backs on it and not look back at all to make sure that what they intended to do actually happened. I don't know, and maybe that's something else that will be touched on going forward. I hope so. I'd like to know more about just the whole concept there. And I don't know, maybe White was sort of the mastermind behind it all. And maybe it's White herself that was responsible for the actual corrupting and not the destruction. I don't know. I'm going to talk more about White in a minute, though. I don't want to talk too much about her right now. But not only that, Nephrite, aka as we know her, Centipedal, for the first time spoke in a voice. Not just like, screeching, trying to communicate, but was able to communicate. And, well, obviously she was on the Homeworld side, but apparently it will take... It's strange to me that, considering how close to curing Centipedal Steven got by himself, that the three of them combining their powers together is not able to sustain Nephrite past how long they touch her. I did find it funny that on her way back into the ship that she took the she took the chaps. That was hilarious. But I'm interested to see, one, if they will actually be able to completely restore the gems to their original selves, even with White's help, and that's whether or not they can even get White's help on this. Because White, as stated, she is different. She's very different. She seems to be... I would venture to say, just based on her appearance at the very least, White Diamond is almost more of a deity. Deity? Whatever. To the gems. Because, like, even as powerful and as seemingly afraid of her as Blue and White are, or no, wait, as powerful as they are and as, afraid of them as one can tend to be, considering their power, like, even they have this fear, this worry of White Diamond. It's like, and how long, like, how angry she could get, how they don't know what she's going to do. Clearly, they had no idea of what she was going to do at first, because instead of Blue and Yellow going to talk to White Diamond initially, she summoned Pink Diamond to her specifically with her White Pearl, which I'm also going to talk about, which completely took Blue and Yellow by surprise. So I'm really curious to find out more about her. But again, I'll try not to talk too much more because I've got other things to talk about. The legs. The legs from here to Homeworld, which is Pink Diamond's ship. I did not expect that at all. Honestly, completely honestly. I assumed that since one of the previous ship that Jasper, Lapis, and Peridot had come to Earth on was an arm, but was it a full arm or was it just a hand? I actually can't fully remember. But seemingly, and this is just sort of like my mind automatically going to like a Power Rangers / Super Sentai or Voltron kind of concept in that. So Pink's ship is legs. Blue and Yellow are the arms. So therefore, if White has a ship, does that comprise the torso and the head? Or considering how big she is, does she even need a ship? Is she capable of just traversing galaxies through space on her own? And if they were to form together, would it be, it's like she takes control of all the functions of the ships. And again, I have no idea whether or not that concept is even going to be visited on, but it seems, I don't know, in my mind it seems too interesting and too likely of a direction for them not to at least touch on that. So, obviously not going to get any answers on that for now, but who knows what could come in the following episodes. Now, in addition to the legs, the running start that Steven got, getting ready to take off, was hilarious. And finding out that, at least according to Pearl, even Pink wasn't very graceful when it came to taking off with her ship, which is awesome to me. I would love to see a flashback or just something like that from Pearl, explaining and just showing us what it looked like when Pink Diamond originally took off. Like, not even for the first time, but just a takeoff with her ship. I would love to see that. So, that brings us to Homeworld, where apparently word reached Homeworld very quickly that Pink Diamond was still alive, which, I don't know, maybe that was just signaled by the fact that it was her ship. That was loud. I don't know if it picked up on the camera. But, that being said, like the celebration that was taking place, or at least the cheering from the Homeworld gems, even though we couldn't really make any of them out, it's like, they comprise the colors yellow, white, blue, and pink. So, yeah, apparently word travels really fast, and then White Pearl appears. And something I noticed very quickly, that is not, I can never remember her name, Dee can't remember her last name, but the woman who voices Pearl and the other Pearls, it was not her voicing White Pearl. I could be wrong, and it's just her doing a very distinct voice, but it didn't sound like her at all. It didn't sound like her doing just a different tone. It sounded like a completely different voice to me. And that's unsettling by itself, but also the fact that she appears not shattered, but broken. Like her, not even her, I didn't even pay attention to her gem. Like her gem may be cracked, but she herself, part of her face, or at least half of her face, is cracked. So what does that imply? Because we don't see that on any of the other pearls. We haven't seen that on any of the other gems, even corrupted ones. So what's the deal there? What's up with White Diamond or White Pearl? And I mean, we didn't even get to see that much of her, because once she dropped off Steven, she just disappeared. And then, of course, that brings us to the big white elephant in the room, White Diamond. And she is gigantic, clearly bigger than yellow and blue, but she doesn't even seem to have, I don't know, maybe it's just because it was the reveal, but she just seems to be an aura with eyes. But it's like we see like that she's wearing these very tall shoes of sort, and maybe she just glows so radiantly that everything around her face and like most of her upper torso is like, it doesn't look physical, but it is. I don't know. There's a very, very unsettling presence about her. And so, the others said that she can be difficult. She is different. So how different? Is my assumption that the other gems, like 2 gems, she is a deity. How accurate might that be? Is she so old, so larger than life? Has she conquered so many worlds that at this point she is quite literally a deity? I don't know. Because it seems like she knew a lot about what Pink had done based on the assumptions she made. Like, did you get it out of your system? It seems like she knew a lot without having any explanation. Like, Steven got out, I think, no more than like 5 words. And she wouldn't hear anything else. It's like she talked, and then boom, she's encased. And or he's encased and sent to Pink's room, I guess. I don't know. This episode fills me with it's so many questions. I want to know more about White Diamond. I'm looking forward to seeing how Steven being there on Homeworld alongside the Crystal Gems and also Blue and White Diamonds, like how might they change now that Pink is back, so to speak? And how much might they come to understand this concept of who Steven is, of what Steven is? And again, the fact that he is not Pink. He has her gem, he has her diamond, but he is not Pink. There's so many questions, so much I want to know. And actually, now that I think about it, I think that this episode is technically the first of the Diamond Days event that started, I want to say, later in December. And so I have a few more episodes to get caught up on. And then come the 23rd? Let's see. I think it's the 23rd. 21st. I might be off on the day, but I think it's the 21st. That there is going to be a, not quite 1 hour special, but a 44-minute special comprising 4 complete episodes that will essentially be Steven Universe the movie. And I will be caught up by then, and I am very, very interested to find out what is going to happen in those episodes / that movie. Whew. Anyway, so many questions, so little time. Everyone, thank you so much for being here for this episode of Discovering Steven Universe. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about what I've had to say. Did I miss anything? Do you feel like there's something I should have commented on a little bit more? I mean, as far as Bismuth goes, like her staying behind. Oh, I know now. I was going to say something else. The woman who voices her is apparently... well, I knew this, not just apparently, but she's a star on Orange is the New Black and at least 1 or 2 other pretty big shows. So she, as a voice actor, is going to cost a lot for the show. So it makes sense that they left her behind while they go to Homeworld, because her appearing would cost the people, or it would cost the Steven Universe team a lot of money in order to pay her sufficiently. So her staying behind to take care of Lapis and Peridot makes all the sense in the world. I'm really sad that like the whole crew's not going to be there, especially since like Lapis just joined the Crystal Gems officially. But I'm really interested to see what's going to happen next. And yeah, apparently we're going to get a little bit more familiar in the next episode, because the episode is called Familiar. Now, I'm curious, just because of what the word can mean in different senses, is this going to be perhaps the Diamonds trying to see if Steven finds certain things familiar, trying to bring out those memories of Pink Diamond, or bring out Pink Diamond from the gem itself? Or might we be introduced to a new character that is a familiar to Pink Diamond? Kind of like how, well, in games, like, you know, witches are often associated with having like a black cat as a familiar, things of that nature. I'm curious to see which direction they might go. Maybe both, maybe neither, and it's just going to be something else that I can't guess. It's entirely likely. Kind of like this episode. But, yeah. I'm just really interested to go forward and check out the episode Familiar, which I will be recording tomorrow. And this will be going up for the people on Patreon. How you doing, patrons? I hope you're having a good day. And everyone else that will be seeing this after it goes public, just thank you so much for being here for this amazing ride through Steven Universe. Still got a few more episodes to go before getting caught up. And then also, again, that 44-minute special that's coming up. Just, I can't wait And it will be a bit sad to be completely caught up with the show, but the way things are going, I am just excited to see what's going to happen. So until next time, everyone, for the next episode of Discovering Steven Universe, I'm Papa Ken. See you in the next video.